Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This should be a special Schus Lili Nishmas Rav David Tzvi ben Rav Yosef and Le Schus Moshe ben Peshadina and Rav Tzuriel ben Shoshana and Rav Yaakov ben Dina Chasha and Rav Yaakov ben Sarah Leah Bracha Batzlacha and Sarah Liba, Bracha V'Atzlacha, B'chol Maaseh Yidehem, them and their whole families. The Gemara says in Gitna, Daf Yud Beis Amud Beis, that according to Reb Meir, it is a chova, it is a disadvantage to free a slave, and therefore, if one frees a slave, wants to free his slave, he may not do it by giving the shtar shichur to somebody else, because zaken ladam shelo b'fanav, but you're not chav a person shelo b'fanav. You're not do something to his disadvantage, and memela to disadvantage, since it's a disadvantage according to Meir, to free the slave, somebody else can't do it. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? What's the disadvantage? Can't eat truma. If he's the eved of a Kohen, he can't eat truma. Since he can't eat truma, it's a disadvantage. Now he's going to lose out. So the Gemara says, yeah, but anyway, he could throw it to him, throw it in his dalat amos, and then he'll be pasul from eating truma. So what's the big deal? Why can't somebody else accept it for him, receive it for him? Anyway, the Adam, he's not helping the Adam. The Adam can pasul him from truma without this guy's. The Adam can pasul him from truma just by throwing it into his dalat amos. So why are you disadvantaging him by accepting the get, the shtar shichur? So the Gemara answer is, no, he can run away. He can run away. And if he runs away, then he can't free him. So since he can get away and be able to continue eating truma, he can't accept the shtar shichur on his behalf because it'll be a chova. As Tosfos, I don't understand. He's a cheskas. As Tosfos, I don't understand. Maybe he sold him to a Jew, a Yisrael, a non-Kohen. So how can you say he can continue eating truma if he runs away? Maybe he was sold. If he was sold, he can't continue eating truma. How can he continue eating truma? So Achronim ask on Tosfos, what are you talking about? He's a cheskas head there. He was owned by a Kohen. So what reason is there to be choshish that he was sold to a Yisrael? So the Achronim answer based on the Maharsha and Chulan and Daf Pei Vav and Aleph that according to Reb Meir, who's choshish l'miyuta, Reb Meir also holds that we don't go after a chazaka lahakal, and here he has a chazaka. So just like to be meko, that he's owned by a Kohen, and that he wasn't sold, you don't follow a chazaka lahakal. Just like Reb Meir is choshish for a miyut, he's choshish for unlikely cases, he's also choshish against the chazaka. He doesn't follow chazaka lahakal. So since this is Rabbi Meir talking, Rabbi Meir says that he could run away and continue eating truma. Tos says a good kasha. How can he continue eating truma? Maybe he's sold to Yisrael. He has a chazaka. We don't go after a chazaka lahakal according to Rabbi Meir, says the Maharsha. So Chaim Shmulevitz brings this and he adds. Gemara later on in Daf Chav Ches, it says that a Bas Yisrael was married to a Kohen, and this Kohen goes to Medinas Hayam, she can eat Truma b'cheskas that he's still alive. Rashi says, because Midaraisi filed the Chazaka. Chazaka is that he's still alive. And the Gemara says, this is Shittas Reb Meir. So according to the Maharsha, Vivakasha, what do you mean it's Shittas Reb Meir? You, the Maharsha, says that Reb Meir says you don't go after a Chazaka lahakal. So how can the Gemara say that if the Bas Yisrael is married to a Kohen, and he goes to Medinas Hayam, she can eat Truma? Why can she eat Truma? Maybe he died. So how could she continue eating truma? All right, you follow a chazaka. You follow a chazaka that he's still alive. Yeah, but according to Reb Meir, you don't follow chazaka lahakal. Since according to Reb Meir, you don't follow chazaka lahakal, how can you say that she can assume that he's still alive? So the answer is that there are two types of chazakas. There's one type of chazaka that's completely misalik as suffix. It removes the suffix. There's no doubt at all. There's another type of chazaka where there's a reisa. There was Misoyer Suffolk, a doubt was raised, and the Chazaka says, be machriya, like it was before. You're mamid on the chazaka. We don't ask her, we don't pass on misafik. Ayin tosim chul yudam beis. So those are the two types of chazakas. One that's misalik the suffix, one that says there's a suffix, but we're machriya on the side of the way it was before. And there's a difference in these two chazakas. That's the chazaka that is when there's no chashash at all. That's a vaday. That says there's no suffix. The other type of chazaka is that there is a suffix, but you're machriya like the chazaka. That's when there is a reisa. So no reisa is like 100%. And if there is a reisa, it's a doubt, but you follow the chazaka what it was before. You so like for this in Rabbi Kiveger and the Jewish V'chidish and Chelik Beis and Ksubas Yud Gimel Amud Beis that Gabi Eid Echad the Mokum chazaka he's not believed, but that's only if there's no suffix in reisa. Like for example, he says that it's chayv in Terumah and Maisus because the pile was smoothed out and it's marecha kri. You have no reason to believe him. So you have to be mamid b'chazaka that it wasn't chayv in Terumah and Maisus. Why would you believe him? In other words, if there's no suffix at all, you can't believe in Eid Echad. But if there is a suffix, if there is a reisa, you can believe the Eid Echad. It's the same thing here. Chazak and absolute, no suffix at all. If there's another type of suffix where you have a reisa, you follow the chazaka, but there's still you're following it even though there's a doubt. So now we understand that Abbas Yisrael was married to a Kohen. Abbas Yisrael was married to a Kohen. She continued reading Terumah b'chezkas that her husband's still alive because he went to Medina Sem. We have no reason to believe he died. So that's like 100% chazaka. That's an absolute. So since this is an absolute chazaka, she continued reading Terumah. Even Rameir holds that. Even Rameir holds that absolute chazakas you can follow. When does Rameir hold you can't follow a chazaka? When there's some type of reisa. And that's what the Maharsha was talking about in Chulin over there. In Chulin, we have reason to believe that the shchita there that the Gemara was talking about is not a good shchita. So Memela, you can't follow a chazaka. But when we're talking about a case where it's an absolute, even Rav Meir, and that the Rav Meir agrees that you can follow the chazaka. Just in the case in Chulin, the Maharsha was talking about, there was the second type of chazaka. It was a chazaka with a reis, so it wasn't an absolute chazaka. There Rav Meir says that lo azu brasa chazaka l'haka, you don't follow chazaka's l'haka. You don't follow chazaka's l'haka. What type of chazaka don't you follow l'haka? A non-absolute chazaka. Chazaka that's machriya the suffix. But chazakas that are make it 100%, there you follow. And we can say the same thing about artosis. In Gittin. We're talking about a case where he wants to free him. He wants to throw the get to him. And then he runs away. So we have reason to believe that he sold him to Yisrael. There's a reis here. We have reason to believe he sold him to Yisrael. Oh, we have a reason to believe that he sold him. So how can he continue eating? There's an earlier chazaka. Yeah, but there's a reis now in the chazaka. Because maybe he sold him to Yisrael. So how can he continue eating Terumah the 7? That's Tos's kasha. How can he continue eating Terumah if he runs away? Maybe he sold him. And here it's not an absolute chazaka. It's a chazaka that we have a reis, so we have a suffix because he wants to get rid of him. So it makes sense he sold him to Yisrael. So therefore we ask, how can he continue eating Terumah when he runs away? It's shot in the kasha of Tosas. But now that we come to this chiluk, we can be miyashiv the kasha otherwise. Tosas in Yavamis of Samchet Samad Aleph asks on the mission that says that if you have a boy who passes a girl with his bia from eating Terumah, but we don't know if this boy is 9 or not 9. If he's 9, his bia is a bia. If he's not 9, his bia is not a bia. So we don't know if his bia passes her or not, so he passes her. We have a suffix, he passes her. Frek taisvis, we have a chazaka kamaisa that he's not 9. Bimamid him and his chazaka is earlier chazaka that he's not 9. Bimamid her and her chazaka that she can eat Terumah. And Shalom Yisrael. So why does he pass her? Why don't we give her a cheskes kashrus and give him his cheskes being under 9? So answers Taisvis that we're talking about here, where when he comes before us, he's 9. Even though there was a suffix when he had bia with her. But we're not mamid him a chazaka kamais, so we go after a hashta. That now he's 9. And there's a reis on the earlier chazaka. Frak the Ma'arit. What do you care that now he's 9? But the whole vort of a chazaka is that you assume that what was earlier didn't change until right now. So with the Shas Bia, he wasn't 9 yet. That's what the chazaka tells us. We know that earlier on he wasn't 9 yet, and then we don't know when he had the Bia, was he 9 or not. Who cares what he is now? We want to know what he was with Shas Bia. The chazaka tells us he wasn't 9. So what is Tosfos talking about when he says, no, now he's 9, so you can't follow the chazaka. Why not? That's the whole idea of a chazaka. Look in the Shev Shmaitz and Shmaitz Gimel Parak Gimel, who talks about this. So how are we going to answer the Marit's Kasha? So the Mishnah Melech Parak Zayin Mitrum Salach Yud Zayin asks that we paskin that Trum Bisman is only to Rabbanan. So why Tumtum and Androgynous who are Kohanim, why can't their wives eat Truma? Like the Rambam says in Lochi Yadalit. It's a Sfeika to Rabbanan Lakula. So right, maybe it is a good marriage, maybe it's not a good marriage, but it's Lakula. Trum Bisman is only to Rabbanan. So let their wives eat Truma. So the Mishnah Melech is Marich. So it would appear that we can answer as follows, that the Isser Achilas Truma L'Zar, besides Achila Bizarus, which is an Isser on the Gavra, there's also an Isser mitzad the Chefts of Truma. What's the Isser? Mishmeres Truma, the Torah says, you have to make Shimur. We have to be Mishamer B'Tara. You also have to be Mishamer Mikol Hefsid. Which means they have to make sure that it's not eaten by a Zar. You have to make sure that your Truma is not eaten by a Zar. If you have a suffix Zar, the Isser mitzad Shimur is B'Torah's Vada. In other words, you have to do the type of Shimur that's going to make it 100% that it's not going to be mischalel. And if it's a suffix zar, even if, in the end he's not a zar, but if he's a suffix zar, you were in Makayim Mishmeres Terumah, because the Shmeres means give it 100% shmira. So we can't say Sfeika D'Rabbanan L'Kula. Because here it's saying make sure there are no sfeikas at all. Make sure you do 100% shmira. So don't let a suffix zar eat it, and therefore it's the wives of the tumtum and androgynous can't eat. Even though it's only a suffix and you want to go l'kula, now when it comes to mishmeres terumosai, there you have to make sure 100%. And if there's any doubt, then you were negligent in your shmiras truma. So according to this, we can also explain the Tos in Yavamas. If now we don't know whether or not he's 9, that's misalik the suffix legamre. So in Achinami, you go with the chazaka that he's not 9 like before, because that's 100% a suffix. And even if you have this Torah Shimur of Truma, it has to be 100%. It is 100%. Remember, we said this is 100% chazak. We have no reason to be mistabik. That we call a vadah. There's no reason to be mistabik at all. But since now that he came before us, he was already 9. Since there's now a reisa, in Echinami of a chazaka, but it's not 100% anymore. Oh, it's not 100%. So now, post Elisha biyasam in a truma. You have to be extra. She can't eat the truma anymore. Because he doesn't have 100% chazaka. He has a grade B chazaka. He's a chazaka that you should be machriya to feed that chazaka. But that only applies that his chazaka that he's not 9 yet. But you only would follow that in a case where that's enough. But when it comes to truma, it's not enough. Because truma, you need 100%. So when you have 100%, if you don't know if he's 9 yet, you don't know if he's 9 yet, you know before he wasn't 9, that's perfect. But when you know that now he's 9, that's already a reisa. So yes, so the Marita Santos but he has a cheskas being under 9. So the Torah says, yeah, he's a cheskas being under 9. But now that he's 9 and we have a reisa, so now we have a question. When he had the bia, was he 9? Was he not 9? And how we can't let her eat this truma. He passes her from eating truma because there's a tzad that he wasn't. There's a tzad that he was already 9, and by truma there's a din shimur. You have to make sure 100% that it's watched. And it's not called 100% when now he's 9, and you assume that when he did the Ma'aseh he wasn't 9 anymore. No, that's not a perfect chazaka. That's like that's a chazaka pguma. That's like a not 100%, not a higher level chazaka. It's a lower level chazaka. It only works when you don't need 100%. But here you need 100%. You have to do shimur vaday. Since you have to do Shimur Vade, this isn't called Shimur Vade, when now you have a Reisa, now that you see it's already 9. So therefore he passels her from eating Truma, Achshash Safek, that maybe when he had beer with her he was 9. This is called a Reisa. Chaim Shmulevitz Echtzad Levracha brings the name of his father. Sometimes he says Chedushim, we see his father with very sharp. So yes, why are we mamid the Eved b'cheskas Marakama? The Natiro b'Truma. B'cheskas Marakama. In our case in Gittin. So what do you mean maybe he sold him to Yisrael? We have a Cheskes Marakama. Not only the Cheskes Heter, that he's owned by a Kohen, but the Kohen has this Bailas on him. It's a Marakama. You always assume that he belongs to the Marakama. So he answers that Marakama is only Shaykh when you have Din V'Dvarim, between Baalei Din. But here there's no Din V'Dvarim. Here it's just the Eved with himself. Who's he Shaykh to? So when you say who's he Shaykh, there's no Marakama. Marakama is you have two Baalei Din and they're deciding who it belongs to. You say it belongs to the first owner. But here when you have an Eved who's done himself, they're not two Baalei Din, there you don't say Marakama. And in Maseches Bav Metzia, Rav Chaim says that he said, unfortunately, we don't have the Shari Chaim on Maseches Bav Metzia. All they have the Shari Chaim on is Ksubis and Gittin and Kedushin. Because Baruch Hu should be Mizaka of the world. I have pellet plus why they don't have it all in Masechtas. But in Bav Metzia, he says that even when there is a Din Vidvarim Ben Baalei Adin, the Cheskes Marakama is only effective benogea ledinim shenogim lebaalei din biyachas lemamona. It's only the dinim on the baalei din in relationship to their money. But the dinim that are nogea to the chefetz of mammon, it's not shaykh talk about a marakama. And lefizeh, here also, here we're talking about the chefetz of mammon, we're talking about the eved, who he belongs to. There's no din of marakama. Marakama is only biyachas, the mammon biyachas to the owner, but not to the chefetz of mammon itself. And that's our case, where we want to know, can he eat truma or not? And the middle is, you can't talk about Murakami here, and that's not going to help this person eat truma, and therefore Tosfos kasha is a good kasha. Lech Hashem amachur Yisrael. Okay, Baruch Hashem b'siyata d'shmaya. We learned some very gishmak Torah, and we should be zoche lilmod u'lamed lishma b'las l'kaimus kol divrei Salmon Torah b'ahava v'lizkor tamid shesof davar Hakol nishma et Elohim yira ve'et mitzvotav shmor ki ze kol adam. Shalom shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.